a joke.
Oh
It's
my
fine.
God.
It's
Yo,
fine.
hey, listen. What y'all are never gonna see, I had to erase it from memory, CB. I couldn't. Hey man, it's that You Heard podcast, man. We back in the building. Joe just said some wild-ish. You know what I'm saying? Well, in the pre, but that ain't like I said. Like I said, it is facts.
It was facts.
It is facts, though. It is facts.
Unfortunately.
Hey man, look.
It was unfortunate as fuck.
Shout out to that movie Spotlight if you ever seen it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't, definitely go check it out.
Being kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the fact that I was like, this can't make it nowhere. Like, we're not doing that. Yeah, no, it wasn't going anywhere.
We're
man,
gonna be out of there.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? As you see, man,
live from Twitch.
About to be out of there for everything. About to have to make our own streaming service to make that shit happen.
Facebook Live.
Man, that was crazy. I can't believe you said that. Hey man, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. Yeah, here we go. Well, let's get this together. All right, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As you see, I'm the only one to know hoodie. I didn't get the memo. Thought my guys would look out for, you know what I'm saying, for his people, but I guess it's what it is. Seeing as it's just what it is, we're gonna hit it up on this one. And yeah, man, let's get into this intro and let's cook.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CP. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No, let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I
mean, what did you say? What are we talking about, son?
Get into it.
I feel keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Y'all ain't gonna have me out here looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the commercial break. Threw the hoodie on. Hey, man. All right. Look, I know where y'all want to go with this, man, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give y'all the floor. Y'all get 2 minutes. Just let me know what your thoughts were for right now. What your thoughts were on UNC, man. Joe drinking water, so CB, I'm going to start with you. 2 minutes, son.
Get the time. Put the timer in the thing. Put the time.
Yeah, we should.
I'm looking at it. 2:38.
We can look at the timer up there. All right, 2:38. Nah, 2:50. All right. Actually, I'm by myself.
You got to 4:50. You got to 4:50. Go.
All right. Obviously, there are no moral victories, right? And we're never going to try to claim any moral victories. It is what it is. We took a loss last night. Before this season, I think most of us picked 8-4. I think I had us 8-4. This was one of the losses that I had us taking before the season. Mm-hmm. With that being said, the reason this one hurts or it stings, I'll say stings. The reason it stings is because even though preseason I picked us to lose this game, sometimes you got to win games that you weren't predicted to win. And I feel like we had this one. I feel like this one got away. It's 2 weeks in a row of games that I feel like just got away. And that just speaks to, I think, the growing pains of the program. You know, we had a large turnover last year, 2 new coordinators. They are going to have to learn how to win together. And I think what we're seeing in the past couple of weeks is a team that does have the fight, does have the mental toughness. They do believe in the vision. They do buy in. They hold themselves accountable. They just have to find a way to close. They have to find a way to win. They have to eliminate shooting themselves in the foot. If we get out of our own way 2 weeks in a row, we're undefeated right now. I think that's my takeaway from this game. Frustrated with the mistakes, with the mental mistakes, with the turnovers. Fumbling the ball at the goal line is obviously frustrating. There's things about the offense, we'll dive into it later, that has me a little bit concerned, but I'm trying to look at the forest and not just the tree that was just in front of me. I'm trying to look at the overall picture of the season and the vision that Mario Cristobal has for this program. And I've seen progress. I've seen a different football team. I've seen a different staff. I like what I've seen.
All right. So CB, nah.
Give me a five. Nah. I was like, "Where's the music? They gonna play me out? Hook me up out of here like Showtime with the Apollo."
I should have had that music ready. I'm gonna have that for the next one. Wrap it up.
I feel like we've flashed. We have flashed what we want to see, but it's not there yet. And I think it will take time, but I do think we are on track. For those of us that had 8-4, this is where we thought we'd be right now. This is a part of the schedule where we're going to have to weather the storm. This is going to test everybody, the fan base, the coaching staff, the players. Do you really buy into this vision long term? Not just for this season. Do you really buy into the message long term? Because these next couple of weeks are painful. This week hurts. Last week hurt. We got another tough opponent this week, so ain't no time to cry. Ain't no time to worry about that spilt milk. Clean that shit up, refocus, get back in the lab, and figure it out. If we can continue to do the things right that we've done right and eliminate the mistakes, we're in these games. I mean, that's that. And I'm pretty sure I'll be pissed off about something else later, but that's my overall situation. Gotcha. Get me up out of here.
Joe, what you got?
Yeah, man. So I was actually in the building, man. I want to shout out Flo and the team, man, for a great tailgate he put on. I got to meet more people. New England came, shouted me out on Twitter, man. I got to meet him, man. A lot of people were, shouting out the pod. So I appreciate you guys, man. And Chapel Hill, the hospitality there is always good. Fans are not crazy like a lot of places, man. So great atmosphere, great stadium. I'm actually all right. Like I mentioned, before we started the pod, I see that this team can be what this team can be, man. We shoot ourselves in the foot a lot. We don't have the depth that we need to have. In the building, the tempo UNC was using on offense was killing us. Us. We look tired on defense, as evident by giving up over 200, close to 250 yards on the ground. That's the first time this season we've gotten done like that on the ground. So
8.2 yards a carry.
Facts. You know what I mean? Evident that tempo was killing. So we're not where we need to be depth-wise, and we knew that. And I as well picked this as a loss, as one of the losses preseason. Fam, we got to remember that UNC has been building for 5 or 6 years. Mac Brown been there for a while. This is his second tenure at UNC. Mac Brown has what many look at as a generational quarterback in Drake May.
Yep.
And with the tempo and all of that, we give him fits. We had Drake May on his ass. We had Drake May.
Yeah.
We had Drake May hurting. You know what I mean?
Especially in the first half.
Yeah, we had him hurting, man. But Drake May is Drake May, man. He comes back and he's tough, man. I can't front. He took some big shots and he's tough. Yep. You know what I mean? So
he took some unblocked big shots.
Yeah, and I mentioned before that I wanted to see us in this game, and I saw what I needed to see. You know what I mean? I saw what I didn't expect us to win, but I saw what I needed to see. And I'm not disgusted. I see some things we could work with, man. I don't think we're that far off. We just got to clean up some things. We got to continue to acquire talent and stack talent. The coaching staff has to continue to get better, though. They do have to get better. They do.
Yeah, from top to bottom, yeah.
Yeah, they got to get better. But yeah, man, I think it's all right. It's all right, man. I'm cool.
So this is why I love doing the show with y'all, man. Like I go into these as a fan, right? And like which is more emotional than you know what I'm saying than rational. So I think the second half I watched the every single second of the game. And but like the second half just showed our lack of depth, right? They killed us with, like you said, they killed us with tempo in the first, even with getting to Drake constantly. What, 4 sacks in the first half? I don't think we had any in the second. That third quarter, they came out and we just had no answer. But again, it's a depth thing, right? Our guys, the defense was tired. We'll get into the specifics in a second. The one problem that I had that stuck out to me, right? Like, and we talked about it. We had the fumble at the goal line. It didn't affect the team because we responded to that, right? We responded. We came back. They had it. Yeah, we lost points, but they responded and came out with the lead at halftime. It seemed, and this has been, and we'll get into this throughout the rest of the show, right? It seemed to be when adversity happens to, I don't know if we want to name names, but when adversity happens to 9, we'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it just after that, it just felt different. And it's not, and like CB, we talked about it before the show. Like, look, he might not be the world's greatest. He might not be a Patrick Mahomes. He's not that, right? But it just the feeling felt different. It just felt different. It did. Like after that, like the possessions in that third quarter were like I'm watching the game and I hear Joe in my head, yo, where the screens at? Like now they're pressuring like crazy. We're not doing anything. Like we'd have the running back in the flat. He wouldn't even look over there. I'm not putting this whole thing on him, but that defense got tired, got no breaks from the offense. And I just watched the game. I was like, because I picked, again, like all three of us, we all picked this game to lose. We all picked this as a loss. So it was like, all right, I knew this was going to happen. But you put that with the compounding loss of the previous week, you know what I'm saying, the announcers, because Joe, you didn't hear, like them constantly mentioning it, like, well, this is what happens when you kind of give a game away the week before, yada, yada, yada.
It was fucking brutal.
Fucking annoying. It was fucking annoying is what it was. So, look, there isn't I'm not as overreacting as I thought I would be. Like I sat with it and thought about it. So I'm not like, I know that issue there was issues that we knew the depth was an issue. And these are the games that it's going to show up on. Right? Like when you're playing a more talented team. It's been 5 years. This is Mario's second. I'm not going to bash the coach, you know what I mean? I don't even bash Guidry for getting that unsportsmanlike, which I thought he shouldn't have gotten because they got the timeout anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like he was on the field after the timeout. So it was like, because he was too hyped after the timeout. Like he could be screaming at his players. You don't fucking know. Like we just gonna. So I don't fault Guidry for that. But we can't say we were too undisciplined because they had over like 20 penalties on, and they still. You know what I'm saying? They had 20 penalties and beat us by 10, which was really more like 17 because it was just garbage time TDs. Yeah, man, there was things that bothered me. But man, like I want to see constant improvement, and talking with y'all, like in the way y'all looked at it changes some of my perspective, but there's still some things that I need to see that I continue to see the opposite of, which bother me.
Two things. One, about the discipline. Yeah, that was a sloppy game, penalty wise, from both sides.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Our lapses in discipline tend to not just be the penalties, though. It's
the timing.
The kind. Yes, it's the
my
the
God,
different.
they happen at the worst times.
It's
Facts.
when we have those lapses and those issues with discipline, and then our discipline is not just penalties. It's things like outside containment. It's things like ball security. To me, that's discipline.
Yep.
It's tightening up those things. And then to go back to the Tyler Van Dyke situation. 9. We all know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
I had an epiphany last night. That's what Ben was talking about. Is I think people are a little too hard on 9. I think the best way to look at it is when Mario is trying to create something, a championship culture here, right? Look at it like when Andy Reid took over the Eagles. He knew he needed a Patrick Mahomes in the future. He needed a blue chip quarterback, but he didn't have one now. So you go and you get a quarterback, or you have a quarterback that can stabilize things for you, that you can win with now, that you can install your offense and that you trust. I think TVD is our Alex Smith. I don't think he's our Patrick Mahomes. I think he's the guy that understands Mario's vision, understands Dawson's concepts, and can stabilize things. I think a lot of times we want the quarterback to come save our program, because you see it constantly in college football. Look at Washington right now with Phoenix. Look at Colorado with Shador. Look at USC with Caleb Williams. Look at North Carolina with Drake May. The quarterback can sometimes just save your program. Notre Dame is practically the same team as they were last year. Stands one or two guys. The difference is Sam Hartman. So I think a lot of times when you look at the quarterback, you want him to save the program. But when you look at how bad things got last year, I think we just needed stability under center. We just needed someone to be complacent under center, someone to not turn the football over, which is something that he hasn't really checked that box in the past couple weeks.
That's the issue.
But I do think Tyler is the guy for the job currently, and I say that because we are going to get these comments, and I do need to reiterate that Tyler is the guy for the job currently. I do agree that maybe in the future you may need a bit more flashy, bit more dual thready kind of quarterback, the way today's game is, but I don't think our problems, it's easy to blame the quarterback, but I don't think our lapses in discipline or the problems that we're having is just him. I think as a unit, as a program, we're just having growing pains. We all got to learn how to win together. We got to learn not to yank people's mouthpieces out their mouths when you could have been off the field on third down. You got to, it's little things. It's just these little things that,
he didn't play
as much as people hate how boring Nick Saban has his guys playing, there's a reason that kind of structure exists, because you avoid things like that. Now, I like seeing the energy. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing the energy, but it needs to be measured aggression. It needs to be measured. And I think that just takes time, y'all. I think he's on the right track. I mean, I think you're crazy if you look at this team and say that you can't see the improvement from last year. I think,
yeah, you're crazy for sure.
I think if that's the case, you just got recency bias, and you're not allowing yourself to see the forest through the trees. Like this is a better team than it was last year. It is a different caliber of gentlemen in that locker room. The way they hold each other accountable. I go back to right after the Georgia Tech game. All those players, they weren't blaming anybody but themselves. Everybody in that locker room looked in a mirror and was like, what could I have done better? That's what you want. Eventually, we will have what we want in this program, but it will take time. And unfortunately, sometimes when it takes time, you got to go through that ugly phase. And we're smack dab in the middle of that ugly phase right now. But are we that far off from the offseason prediction? Like, is it that unrealistic to believe that we beat Virginia, NC State, Louisville, and Boston College and finish out the season with 8 wins? So, like, tranquilo, everybody, relax. We are building.
I'm with you. I'm with you on him being. I say, let's go, Alex Smith, similar look and everything, right? But I think the leader, the reason why he gets the criticism, he's the leader of the locker room, right? Like, he has the ball in his hands every play.
He's the perceived leader of the locker room.
But the thing is, I think last night you kind of saw that he can't be the leader of the locker room, right? Like I'm saying, like in quotations, the quarterback should be the leader of the locker room. He's not. But when he's down, it affects more things, right? Like when they show him, and again, perception is reality to me, right? Like when they show him, he's hanging his head, looking down, not, you know what I'm saying, like. No rah shit. I don't need rah, right? But like there's never any feeling with him, right? Like after he says all the right things, and we'll get into what he said in the press conference in a little bit. But like in the moment, there's never like, yo, man, I fucked up. Let's go, guys. Hey, man, that's my bad, coach. Standing next to his offensive coordinator, like, yo, what do I need to, like? He's off at the bench, like by himself. Nobody's around him.
Well, I will say to that though is. So sometimes as fans, we got to remember that our reality isn't somebody who's wearing the uniform's reality. That's
Right.
our perception on what we see.
Right.
But Joe, I know you've played with guys where he may be quiet on the sideline, but we understand why. Like, oh, he mad. Like, he going through what he could have done in his head. Like that's why you leave Jeffrey by himself for a second. Like, he's not like I think sometimes we got to remember that, like, we put our thoughts and feelings and insecurity
100%.
on these players sometimes.
100%.
So the fact that, like, we may not see TVD be rah-rah, he may not be rah-rah, but he may be rah-rah in his own way. And they may respect that. Now, I'm not saying they do or don't, but I think sometimes we read too much into what the camera finally shows us from body language. Like, I feel like those players probably know him better than whatever, 5-minute perception we get of him. So I don't think it's fair to say that he's not that kind of leader, because we just don't really know. I will agree that we don't get to see it, but I've had leaders that didn't, that are not vocal, but when they make eye contact with you, you know what's up. And that sometimes is enough, where it's like, damn, Monette didn't need to say nothing. That look from him lets me know what's up.
I feel like that's a specific name you just called out there.
Yeah, that was specific. That was my middle linebacker. Like,
yeah.
I think so. Sometimes we also got to realize that our perception is not necessarily reality. But from Ben's point, you do like to see it from the quarterback, because that's the face of the organization. So it's two sides of the coin, right? Like, you want to see it, but because you don't necessarily see it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, the tree still fell in the forest and made a sound. We just weren't there to hear it.
Yeah. Joe, what you got, man?
What's your thoughts on 9?
He is what he is at this point. I feel like it's just stagnant. There's no improvement. I'm not going to say there's regression. I think it's just because, listen,
but that's
last
him,
night,
right? Just flatline. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just he's there. He's just there. I don't think he's going to win you a game. I don't think, I need 9 to bring us back. We're down 19, and I need 9 to bring us back. I need them to make some plays. I need them to string together some first downs. I don't think that's going to happen.
If we're down, we're down. Yep.
Yeah, if we're and that's what it is at this point. I think you have to build around that. We have more than enough weapons, which that's the one thing I don't think that we're doing is putting the weapons on the field that can help us and help TVD. I don't think that's happening.
All right,
we have more. Did
he just freeze? Did he freeze for you, CB?
Danny?
Yeah. We have more than what?
We have more than enough weapons to help TVD and let him distribute the ball. He can distribute the rock. You know what I mean? He's not, like I said, he's not going to make the play, but he can distribute the ball. We have enough weapons, man. I don't think we're using those weapons. It's very frustrating to me that certain people are not playing.
Can we get into that?
Yeah, we're about to get into that right now. Yeah. Listen, man. This is very, like, I'm curious how what I'm about to say, because you say certain things that could be like skewed to be certain. Like, I'm tired of X. Like, I love it, right? Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I love the fact that he catches 11 balls with 22 targets. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Brashard Smith, to me, his couple plays were more electric. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he doesn't get on the field, like, and y'all tell me, man, like, how much is it TVD just solely focusing on him? Because look, I'm the only thing I watched last night, and I watched tomorrow is I watched Flo tomorrow. I watched Grant last night, and Grant brought up a point, and y'all tell me, when defense plays zone, he focuses on X. That's it. He locks in on him, and it's a wrap. When they play man, he scans the field, right? So if like Isaiah Horton got a little bit more burn, we saw there's dimensions that we have, and we have the pieces, but we see the same three over and fucking over, and the tight ends would crowd the space where X would be, right? So like maybe that's why they're not using the tight. Like I don't fucking know. Like the lack of just creativity and play calling has to be for a reason, right? Because we saw A&M, like he can make these throws. Like there was offensive creativity, and it just feels like we've taken a step back and just been like, yo, X or sometimes Jacoby 4 out there can't even get the fucking ball. That was my rant. Sorry. Yeah. Y'all work with that what you can. I got nothing.
I think the narrative sometimes is TVD stares down X. I think the narrative should be TVD stares down receivers. There are times when it's not just X. He just stares down. He trusts his pre-snap read too much sometimes, where it's like, even if that look a safety off every once in a while.
Hasn't done it
Just
yet.
look a safety off every once in a while.
Ain't asking a lot.
But I think to Joe's point, the most frustrating part for me is the personnel groupings. Why haven't we seen the pop passes to Ray? Why haven't we seen the screens to Ray? Why haven't we seen Riley Williams work the seams? Why haven't we seen Jalil Skinner be flexed out and make him a matchup problem for whatever outside linebacker has to deal with that shit? Why haven't we seen Brashard Smith in the backfield coming out on a wheel route from the backfield so that we have a mismatch that way? The offensive personnel creativity. Where is the screen passes to Chris Johnson? Where's the creativity in the run game? The run game, that inside zone is being beat to smithereens. It just feels like we're not utilizing all of the weapons we have. Like, I feel like the middle of the field is not being attacked. I'm going to continue to say this until they can do it. The middle of the field, behind the linebacker, just in front of the safety, that 10 to 15 yard intermediate is not being exploited by us at all. Like, and we know he likes the scissor concept, but it seems like a lot of that, his scissor concept, that high-low, everything is on the outside. We press the outside a lot. That shit would open up a little bit more if you attack the middle of the field. There are times when the spacing doesn't make sense to me. Like, there was a throw where TVD and Tyler, not TVD, X and Tyler Harrell were about 3 yards apart coming out of their breaks. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what's the spacing there? Like, what? And we saw good spacing earlier. So I'm a little, I don't know, guys. I'm a little confused as to, what is going on there? It got worse? What?
This guy look, this happens he got a racist ass camera. Every once in a while, it just doesn't give a fuck. Like, see if you're making all these good points. Joe goes into fucking DEA, fucking, you know what I'm saying, informant.
And then we got a crotch shot for no reason.
That's because he has to like refocus it. It's fucking insane.
Do this.
No, because then if it gets that, he tries it and then it just gets more blurry, or then he just becomes like a darker, a weird, random fucking color.
But that's Joe, my question: is where's the where's the different position grouping? Where's the Tyler Harrell? Where is Shamar Kirk, for fuck's sake? Where is Robbie Washington in the slot? Where just change the pace? I tell you what, just get X off the field for a play or two. Change it up.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Where is that? You know what I mean? Where is the motion? Where is the creativity? It seems like we just haven't had that much creativity on offense. And I mean, the three guys have been cooking all year, so it's hard not to let them cook. But I think you also want to switch things up, give the defensive coordinator something else to think about. You know, give some other put the ball in somebody else's hands and see what happens. It seems like when we get down, we're not trying different things. We finally did later. You saw Brashard Smith get loose. Like, how come he's not getting some work out the backfield? Why are we not trying?
Why can't we rotate X?
things?
Why can't we rotate X? Like, You give, you know what I'm
And
saying?
it's not just X; it's all three of them. What? Why
Son,
how
it's
come
always
Shamar
the
Kirk is
same.
not on the field? Why
It's
is
always the same
Robbie not
three.
on the field? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just we got to do something different. Just mix it up a little bit, and for God's sakes, work the middle of the field.
Before
Yeah,
Joe
to your
goes,
And
real
point,
quick.
stop throwing 3-yard outs on fucking 3rd and 10.
your
Stop throwing
point-
behind the chains.
CB, again, we don't know what's going on in the building. We don't know what's going on in practice.
True.
We don't know if Shamar Kirk is making it to meetings on time. We don't know that. Not saying he isn't, people.
True.
Yep.
True.
That's our guy.
But we don't know what's going on. We don't know if Tyler Harrell is practicing hard enough. We don't know. But
Tyler was out there a lot this week.
he was, yep. All right,
Most
so
places
listen,
got it.
Jacoby George, 6 for 125, about 21-yard average. Brashard Smith,
Monster game.
3 for 90.
Yep.
30-yard average.
Mhm.
Brashard Smith. Kobe Young, 2 for 20.
That I have a problem with.
2?
Yep.
2.
Yep.
So I'm in the building. Let's just say this. UNC's defensive coordinator was very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. He left his corners on the island a lot. The safeties were up within 8 yards, both safeties. He had the corners bumping a lot. Not every play, but enough to take shots. And
We did.
Now X, 11 for 96.
9-yard average.
8.7 yards, about 9 yards a catch.
Mhm.
Now listen, man, I'm not gonna say X shouldn't be out there. Hell no.
Nope.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? If that's your guy, he works, he has an innate ability to find the open area.
Facts.
In the zone. X is X. But we do have a Brashard who looks more explosive than he's ever looked to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Every time he touches a kick return, I think
he's
it's
gonna go.
going to the house. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, if we block this shit right, that shit going to the house. Every time he touches the ball, I think it's going to the house. Ray.
And running physical too.
Yeah, Ray. The running back room. I saw so many cutback lanes that could have been hit.
They never
last
took. Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
backside
Paris was
was
bad about
open
that a few
all
times.
night.
Yeah,
All
man.
night
Paris was
that
bad
backside
about that
was
a few
open.
times.
Yeah, and we're not hitting it. So you have Miami athlete, you have Florida athletes on their team, man. You have Georgia athletes on their team, man. Like, these guys need to be I don't know if there's a restriction. I don't know if they're being told to. I don't know, man. I don't know. But the explosives are missing.
I'll say this.
It feels like we're an offense that lacks speed, and we know we don't lack speed.
I think it's different. I think I started having this feeling last night and talking with y'all about it. I think we say this every year, no matter the offensive coordinator, right? Like the zone.
It's been like that for a while. Yeah.
Doesn't matter the defensive coordinator, right? Like go back to Red Lashley. How many times did we run inside zone with Jalen Knighton? All the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like that was, don't give it to Jalen Knighton, run, get these 2 yards, and we'll see what happens. It resorts, no matter the coaches, no matter the head coach, the offensive coordinator, doesn't matter. It kind of becomes the same kind of offense over and fucking over. And like, you tell them you can't run Tyler Harrell one time. Like, yeah, you can't run him on the deep post one time. Like, that just can't happen. They're rushing 3. We're supposed to have this gangsta ass O-line that it can't ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, to show them something different. Like, if Joe's telling you right there, they're putting 8 in the box, and at no point can we just do something, you know what I'm saying? Run a motion, throw it to a tight end again. Like, it just seems like we do the same. Like it doesn't matter. Just do these same things and expect so. Like it just doesn't make sense to me, man. Like it just doesn't. It's frustrating because go back. Like we said this same shit last year with the other OC. You know what I'm saying? We said the same shit before with Rhett. We said the same shit before with whoever the fuck was before Rhett. Like I don't even remember. It looks like the same. Like we have all these same athletes. Bro, Rashard been here 5 years. 3 different offensive coordinators. They can't figure out. None of them can figure out that he's fast as shit and a tough runner. When we see it on 3 fucking plays, none of them. Like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know the technique. I don't know the fucking play calls. Like you telling me nobody can figure out. Yo, Rashard fast as fuck. Maybe we should put 4 wide and put X on one side and Rashard on the other and do something different. Do something different. When the one fucking time you did it. 3 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown where he burned the fuck out the safety because can't nobody hang with him. X is gonna give you
a nice wheel route too.
On a beautiful wheel route. The Jacoby George wheel route. Beautiful pass. Like those moments happen, right? Like and then like oh shit, you know what? Rashard is fast. Yeah, motherfucker. X is gonna give you every first down. X ain't gonna do that.
It's difficult. It's kind of frustrating to me. And again, people, we don't know what's going on in that building, man. We really don't know. But it's ill to me that you have, I don't know if you have access, but you're in the same city as perhaps the greatest offensive mind in the fucking universe for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep. That offense is incredible.
Fam, take copy, motherfucker. Like copy. Like I'm writing these
same place.
Like, I'm copy, my nigga. Like,
watch it every play. Like I did that with Tyreek Hill. All right.
No, but like
Jalen Waddle.
Like,
okay.
I'm at least trying some of that shit, right? Like I'm trying to install some of that motion and some of that new off motion he's doing with Tyreek. Hey Ray, Robbie, come here for a second. Let me see something.
Yeah, man.
Let me
variations. There's variations
let me see
of
if I
every
can
play. There's variations of every formation. I'm a 49er fan, and Shannon and McDaniel are the same.
Yeah. He's a disciple.
They run like 49. The 49ers run a toss sweep, right? The formation for this they have 95 formations for this one toss sweep, son. Like it'll be a bunt set, it'll be two tight end, it'll be a bunch of different formations just for the toss sweep. Like there's so many ways to manipulate the defense, man. So many ways to manipulate and give the defense something to look at that's not there. Like, man, son.
That's that Sean McVay tree of offense where Sean McVay is like, I got 11 plays, but I got 112 formations. Like, but I only have 11 plays. But I'm gonna show these 11 plays to you in 100 different ways with the same personnel too. With 11 personnel, I can make this one play look different 20 different times.
Crazy.
And I think Dawson has shown that when he wants to get nasty, he can get nasty.
Yo, Texas A&M,
like,
we sitting here
we've seen
we sitting here like, yo, this is the greatest shit ever. We're like, yes, we're here, baby.
I'm damn near crying. I'll tell you again, that Jacoby George play almost made me cry, son. I'm a grown ass man.
It feels like he's throttled it back since then.
All the way, man. All like just went 4 plays. Hey, these are the 3 we're playing. It's gonna be either Henry Parrish, AJ Allen, or Don Chaney, and that's just what it is. And we're gonna just see what sticks. Else? And it's just been that.
Let me ask y'all this. Something else I've noticed that's become a bread and butter of this offense is driving me crazy. This long from the hash all the way across the field, either hitch or 3-yard out that we're running. That takes a lot of arm strength, first of all. And a lot of times, if you're late on that ball, you're throwing it at the point where it's catch and tackle, and it's either a 1 or 2 yard. That is a high quality NFL Matthew Stafford, Jay Cutler arm kind of throw. And it's become like the bread and butter of this offense a little bit.
But he was again, to your point, Texas A&M, those were like he was making those throws, and they were Kobe Young, X. They were making the first person miss and getting extra yards. I don't know what happened recently, and maybe there's something to
Everybody
TVD's,
coming up.
yeah, maybe it's something to TVD's finger issues.
We're gonna get into that.
I don't know. Maybe there's
before we get off the receiver shit. Kobe Young had like a 8 or 9 yard run where he broke like 8 tackles.
Yeah,
right. Like he carried defenders with him.
He's
and
tough.
then he just never got the ball again.
He got to get the ball, man.
Our most physically imposing receiver. You're telling me at no point he was open? Like at no point could you throw him? If you're throwing X open, because on that touchdown he did throw X open. That was a hell of a pass on that back shoulder. I'll give him that. But like you're telling me
Jacoby George touchdown, he threw him open.
Yeah.
That was a good
that was a beautiful pass. I was like, oh shit, we're about to do something, and then second half happened. But all right.
But if you're gonna give me man on Kobe like that all game long,
throw that shit
toss
up.
one up.
Throw that shit up. I'm good with
up on his throw one on top of somebody's helmet for 1 second for my boy Ford, please.
You saw what he did at Temple, Funk. Like he's gonna go, high point that ball.
Bro,
like give him a chance.
About to man up on that big ass transformer out there, we are going to at least make you pay for it or attempt to pay for it.
I'm throwing that shit up every time.
So I'm gonna be real mad next year when he's in the league.
You give me man coverage in the red zone with fucking transformer out there.
Yeah,
come on. The first two
next year when he's in the league and he has like 1,200 receiving yards, we're gonna be like, damn, we didn't use him. Yeah, well, he's gonna be fucking rested if we keep not using him this way. Yeah. All right, man. Look, press conference. They don't watch them all. I didn't
watch any of them, so y'all can go ahead and talk about it.
No, the only one I
just saw the clips.
I just saw 9 again.
Yeah, I saw 9.
I don't know what's happening over there, son. It's always weird. He always does some random shit. If y'all listening to this, Joe's camera gets like awkwardly racist, where it just goes, fuck it, I'm done working, and just shuts down for a second and goes blurry. So it's very weird. I don't know what the fuck. Doesn't make any sense.
Stop playing with me, motherfucker.
Also, if you're listening to this, my chewing has probably annoyed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I apologize. It's been a wild one. How y'all feel about TVD letting out the information after another bad performance? Keep it a buck, right? Like you know what I'm saying? That he had 3 torn ligaments in his finger in preseason or in fall camp. Just was he asked specifically about that? This was what he was asked. I forgot who asked the question. Hey Tyler, how's your hand? We saw you had some tape on it or some shit, something like that. Paraphrasing the question, and he goes, "Yeah, I had 3 torn ligaments in my finger during fall practice, but it's fine now." That's what he said.
Oh,
something
that's
on
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if that's it, then.
But he looked at it, was like, he goes, "It's a little sore, but it's fine now."
Okay.
He hurt his hand during the game. The broadcast said that after he when he had that scramble in the first quarter, he took that hit on the sideline. They said he was writhing in pain on the sideline and his hand was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
They said like he was visibly in pain.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There's something wrong with his hand. He's been wearing that splint all year. I mean, they downplayed it at first. There's clearly something wrong with with that finger.
Clearly. It hasn't affected his passing though. Like
what?
You know what I'm saying?
I think it has.
Have you seen the air under some of these footballs?
Oh no,
yeah, I think it has. I definitely think it has.
He's late with something, but I'm saying not like to the point where I don't think it's been game defining though. Like I think it's been
3 picks last game.
Yeah, but that was staring down his receivers.
Dang, but yeah, I think
it wasn't like they were high. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that wasn't there.
A couple of them. He had. It was either Harold. He had somebody where he had them open last night, and the ball just hung in the air a little too long.
Yeah, I think the zip is definitely not what it was.
But he has like it's weird because he has like moments where the zip happens, and then it just like goes away. because he had a couple like zip passes where like, oh shit, he beamed the fuck out that ball. I forgot for what play, but it was like, I just don't like. I don't like that information going out because to us, you know what I'm saying? Like him saying it was like it sounds like an excuse.
Weird.
It sounded weird, right? Like it didn't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, we took a hit in the first. He's like, yeah. First he said, yeah, I'm hurting because he took a lot of hits in the game. And then he said that about the ligaments. Clearly they're not healed because like y'all just fucking shut me down on me saying that I don't think it's affected him too much. Again, like I don't think the passes that he's thrown for interceptions, because he also, you know what I'm saying, like is it the full factor of why he's throwing those interceptions? You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't say it's the full factor, but even on some completions, the ball is puttering a bit. It's hanging in the air a little too long.
It's sales.
It's
for
sales.
Sure.
Yeah. And that it does seem like he doesn't have the same zip. The only thing that was confusing to me is y'all remember the fiasco when it came out about his finger, and they didn't want people reporting on the injury, but then someone reported on the injury, and then it was not a big deal.
But
if
now,
you know what I'm saying? Like if it's not a big deal, then why even
bring it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that was the only thing that's confusing to me. And I don't even mean that to take a shot at nobody. It was just confusing. It was like, wait, I thought this wasn't a big deal and we weren't talking about this. But
yeah, now we are.
But okay, so it either is a problem or it isn't. That's my whole thing is the hand a problem or is it not?
But the thing is, right? The thing is different. Is like if the reporters are reporting it is one thing. Him bringing it up and like giving you that information is the different thing, right? Like if somebody goes, yeah, TVD heard, yeah, like TVD, so like whoever the fuck, let's go David Lake, whatever, Manny Navarro, any reporter, hey, TVD's hand is the right. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to some, that's very different than, I tore 3 ligaments, hearing it from the horse's mouth when it didn't need, you know what I'm saying? Like, didn't need to be said. Like, my hand, whatever the fuck. He could have just quarterback spoke that shit out. I'm like, hey, look, we're all hurt right now. Nobody's 100%. Boom, done. Get the fuck up out of there. Him saying it it goes back to, you know what I'm saying, back to that. And again, in the press conference, he said all the right things. Oh, we just got to be better, yada, yada, yada. But giving that information was unnecessary. And the clip came out last night. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go, man. With the fucking, with the built-in excuse.
Confusing.
It felt like a built-in excuse.
Because it was like, if it's not going to be a thing and we're going to not talk about, even if it is a thing, but they've decided like, yo, we're not hearing it about the finger, then it just like stick to the script if that's the script. I don't know. And it's probably us reading too much into it anyway, to be completely honest.
But that's the thing. It becomes a different thing to talk about. Now, Monday, when Mario and the coaches give their press conference, it's a talking point. Like, hey, how's TVD's hand? How was his passing today during today's game? Did you see zip on him? You know what I'm saying? Now it becomes more shit to ask when it didn't need to be a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, ask the question that everyone's going to ask us, and if I don't ask it, people are going to ask, why didn't anyone ask it?
In the comments, 100, they will say that shit. Go ahead.
Can I ask the question?
Do it.
If his hand is hurt, do you play 17 or 11? Just because somebody gonna ask us, we might as well address it.
Yeah, that's
somebody gonna ask us. I mean, I got the tweets. I know y'all got the tweets. I got the tweets last night, so we might as well address it. We either gonna have to address it here or in the damn comment section. So we might as well address it.
Joe,
I don't mind playing 17 or 11 now. Currently, I don't mind starting and let's get it. Let's finish the season with 17 or 11. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Changing some things up a little bit.
Oh shit! Yo, y'all remember CSI Miami? Y'all ever watch CSI Miami? The lead character would always say some like stupid punny shit and put his glasses on and walk off. That's what CB just reminded me of when he took off the glasses. Like, what?
Joe shook up my whole house and now my glasses are all crooked.
Honestly,
that's interesting.
I agree with Joe, man. Here's another question that I have for y'all, and we'll CB, we'll get to your answer. I don't know if legally you can or cannot answer this question as well. You know what I'm saying? But why haven't we seen any 11 packages? to switch. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing to like switch up the energy.
I thought this would be the game. I thought this would be the game.
I was like, oh, we're holding them for 4 games, yada yada yada. Okay, like you go conservative as fuck against Georgia Tech. I was like, okay, they're gonna cook up some crazy shit against North Carolina to switch up the energy, yada yada yada, and fucking nothing. Just ugh. So
North
what are we
Carolina,
doing with JB?
Clemson, Florida State, and one more game is when I thought we'd see JB.
That's just nothing. So yeah, I'm ready to see somebody else.
The way that's making my wheels spin is things that I don't want to talk about.
See what I'm saying? Like I said, legally, some things you can and cannot say. So what do you think? Should they?
I thought honestly, I'm Ben. You hit the nail on that. I thought we'd see it this game. I really did. I thought the 4 was North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, because you need a little bit extra maybe to get over the hump.
Give us something to think about.
Fuck them thinking about it. Our offense could just use a little bit extra, just a little razzle dazzle from every once in a while.
Razzle dazzle,
bro. Okay, third quarter, right? When we're getting beat down last night, JB pops off a 30-yard run, gets up in Superman's. You don't tell me the motherfucking team.
Yep.
The energy lifts up.
Yep.
So it's moments like that I'm like, use one of the guys, use Ray, use CJ. We need energy sometimes. Like Ben, when you said you started to see it from TBD, and damn, after that fumble, the offense looks like they're hanging their hats. That's when out of 24, hey, take the cover off that Ferrari. Let's pop a little screen to him, because you know how momentum works. We get a big play.
His next pass was a pick. His next pass was a pick.
And this is how momentum works. You saw how my energy was high? Ben just says that, and now my energy is now my energy is down.
Understand, like that's my biggest gripe with 9, right? Like he can make every throw in his hand. Like that's my biggest gripe. Like imagine if me I was thinking about this shit earlier. Imagine when my internet was trash, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all were patient with me, and let's keep it a buck. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if you were like, hey man, Joe was like giving me shit, or you know what I'm saying, it came in with the wrong, and like, here goes fucking Ben's internet again. Son, Joe worked through that, you worked through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if Joe showed up and was just like, hey, fucking Ben's internet's trash again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would change. Like, I never, until after the show, I would never know that my internet was trash. You know I'm saying, yo, keeping it a buck. Unless I had to, unless you were like, yo, we can't use that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it was something like that. And like the show went on and we worked through it and all that shit. Like, fam, if I'm sitting on the sidelines and we all do this shit together, right? We all cook. We all the chefs in this. We're like, fam, like, if I'm sitting on the sidelines, I got my head down, my energy ain't right, and I got the ball on every snap. You telling me JB11 shows up and does a 30-yard run. That changed, like, okay, we in this fight. Somebody's showing the fuck up. But if you fumble and then you lay down on the ground a little too long, get up, go to the sideline, nobody talk to you, your next pass is a pick, your next drive is a 3 and out, and then you're just like, ah, well. But then after you say all the right shit, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, we have a 13 player leadership council. Are there meetings just after the game? Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, when does that shit happen? Like, I didn't see the accountability that I saw earlier in the year from the players. We talked about it. We saw a player on defense bitching halfway through the play while the receiver's still running into the end zone, yelling at his teammate. We're not gonna say the name. Y'all could go watch that shit. Look, like, that's
could not.
But again, like
that.
But that happens when your every snap guy is indifferent, despondent, right? Not engaged with the team, because I don't give a fuck how many leaders you got in the locker room. If he ain't the one, it gets very difficult for somebody. Like, a backup can't be the one. A lineman can't be. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't make the difference unless they make a mistake. When 9 makes a mistake, the shit's a turnover, and it's a short field, and the defense got to come back on the field. Like how many count the minutes? I think they were on the field for like 13 minutes in that fucking second quarter, in that third quarter.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I'm saying? Like,
defense
that's
were on the field just way too much.
way
It's
too
just
much.
way too much.
Georgia Tech, same thing.
But you know what? We haven't talked about the defense, so let's get into that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You know, we ran the same amount of plays.
Mm-hmm.
So we both UNC ran 72, Miami ran 72.
Yep.
The issue was that tempo. That tempo just destroyed everything. But
they cooked our depth, yeah.
We gave up 8 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you attribute
that
to? To one player.
Depth and exhaustion.
Depth and exhaustion.
I think the defense got gas. I think they got gas.
I think they got tired. Yeah. That lack, the lack of
depth.
And
like Joe said, I think that tempo really did throw us off. And then you're gassed, you're tired, and then they're going quick. And that running back is tough. He's a big physical kid.
They were running on us like we ran on people earlier in the season. Getting those 6-7 yard pushes. They were pushing us around. Look, that tempo cooked our depth because we're not that deep, right? We past that first 11, you might have 15. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe if you want to push to 16, and that's a totality on defense. So that first 11 is tired. That next one ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, depth, man. That pace killed us.
Tyler throwing 48 balls in a game is not a winning
recipe, right?
For us. Yeah. You know what else too? For as good as Drake May was in that second half, and that boy was every bit as easy. Of what people say. He's as advertised. He is a very good quarterback. He was not very efficient. He's 17 of 33 for 273.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to.
I mean, and other than Hampton, they were not effective with anyone else on the ground.
No turnovers. No turnovers. I mean,
so 4 or 5 sacks.
So here's a stat. Miami, us.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Right. Yeah, we're Miami. You know, I appreciate the clarity there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
107.
Weird that nobody got that. How that's
107th in the nation in turnover margin.
Yeah, we don't get them.
Nope.
We give them away.
We give them away.
9 in the last 2 weeks, right? 9.
We're not turning the football over on defense. I feel like we're almost there. Like DP2 probably should have had that one if James doesn't break on that football and knock it out. Sir. I think Daryl Porter is waiting for that ball to hit him in the hands until but James don't see that. James is breaking on the football like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
But I felt like that about sacks early too. I felt like we had a high number of pressures that we weren't converting to sacks, and you get a game like this where we come away with 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
We've lost 6 fumbles.
It's absurd.
That's absurd. We've thrown 6 INTs, which isn't terrible, but we've lost 6 fumbles, bro.
The problem is that 5 of them in the past 2 weeks on the INTs.
Yep. Yes. And we've turned our opponent over 9 times.
Yeah, the INTs aren't coming.
No.
And then the ball's not falling our way. Like Bane gets the strip sack, right?
Yeah.
They get it back, and they only lose a yard on the goddamn play.
And even on the low snap from Matt Lee, TVD tried to get on it. Parrish kicks it, and then you know what I mean. So things are not falling our way. Turnover battle, we're losing, and penalties at the wrong time. Yep. Keontre Smith. And what's more disappointing
they're not playing
is that these things are coming from experienced people.
Okay.
DeAndre Smith,
8th year
you
senior.
had Matt Lee with the bad snap.
Yep.
Bad snap.
Yep.
TVD doing what he's doing.
Mhm.
Experience. These people been in the building for years, man. These people been playing college football for a while.
This is
Davis undercutting that deep ball on Walker.
Davis. That's another. Oh, we talking defense.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why Jaden Davis has been moved to outside corner full time. The role he was in was perfect.
Yep.
Slot in the box, coming off the edge, blitzing, causing havoc.
I call it the bulldog position.
Outside corner.
That's another one that doesn't get
Devontae.
I swear to God, I was about to say that shit. There's no
Jaden
rotation.
Davis is good at what he's not an outside corner by any stretch of the imagination.
In any world.
He's a DB.
He's a DB. He doesn't have the top end speed. He's
a jack of all trade, master of none.
Yeah, I'm confused, man. And again, we're not in the building, man. We don't know what the hell.
Where's the Devontae? Where's it Demar? But where's it Devontae? Where's it Damari? Where's it? You know what I'm saying? Jadaeus Richard. Like, give like a same thing as with the receivers. Give a different look. You know what I'm saying? Like Tez Walker is way bigger than the Jaden Davis. To not put something different for a play, just see what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? Just see if somebody can be physical with him a little bit at the line. Put Devontae in, that's a bigger corner, and throw the timing off a little bit. Like to do and roll out the same corners over DP2 balling. Right? I don't know.
Massive shout out to Daryl Porter Jr., by the way. That dude has packed a lunch this year.
He's doing work like that.
He gave up one. I think he gave up one.
Yeah,
but he doing
working.
You know what it could be? It feels like they have a if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality right now at receiver and at corner because Jaden and Porter have been doing well. It feels like, but I assumed we'd see even more Damari by now. I definitely assumed we see more Devontae by now. But like Joe says, we're not in the building, so we can only speculate. But I'm very curious as to why 7 is not out there. I thought he would. Honestly, I had singing his praises. I thought all ACC corner potentially. Just based off the way he has played in the ACC already for UCF. We saw an all ACC corner last year. So it's just frustrating. But again, to Joe's point, we don't have the full picture. We just have what we see and we can just speculate and
look, I get
frustrated and all that shit.
I get the not being in the building and practices, right? Some guys are practice demons. Some guys are lights on monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a corner last year that was a practice demon. That when the game showed up wasn't the best. Maybe Devontae's an in-game guy, man. Like if he doesn't get those moments to play and do something, we'll never know. But if the stock
saw him get in the rotation earlier, it's weird. It's just weird.
It just doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't fucking make sense.
Even Horton finally got back in the rotation a little bit today, and it really feels like Horton is like a little bit of a spark for us. Like,
yes,
when he gets going, it feels like it sparks the offense a little bit.
Fam, because it's something different. You can't have chicken and broccoli every day. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do something different. You gotta switch it up. Like Isaiah Horton just doing something is gonna be different than like they're running Isaiah Horton the way they never run Kobe Young. You know what I'm saying? Like you telling me Kobe Young can't be in that fucking, you know what I'm saying, in those spaces? Like they're just like they're working these guys. All right, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You don't work outside of that. And this is what the defensive coordinator is going to see every game. They're just going to prepare for the same shit. There is
like with Kobe's body. I'm wondering where's just the slants for Kobe? Where's just a 3-step slant? You basically box out the corner and we get 6 yards on first down. Like where's just sometimes I feel like TVD could use easy throws, and on the easy throws for him, it's these from the hash to the other side of the numbers, 3-yard outs, and I would like to just see some slants.
Quick slant. Listen, if we had, so they were in a lot of trips, single receiver side. Kobe was a single receiver a lot of times. The safety was in the box all the time. If we give a little RPO motion and hit that slant to Kobe or Jacoby on the single receiver side, man, listen, man.
Your one missed tackle from a fucking touchdown.
Fam, and that's not even like a crazy fucking drawn up play.
I'm screaming for that in the building, son. I'm screaming. I'm like,
right, like that's not even like some Mike McDaniel fucking. You know what I'm saying?
It's an air raid concept.
It's just, it doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah.
All right, defense. Let's give it. Let's do that, and we'll get the fuck up out of here right after it.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Man. What
I'm hurt, dog.
I'm hurt.
Don't ask me if I'm all right.
Don't ask me.
Matt Lee said dominate.
We not doing it.
We ain't doing it.
We ain't doing it, man. We ain't doing it.
Where's
That's
that
crazy.
goddamn speech?
Hey,
Where's that?
Sitting on the bench, Sam. Sitting on the bench. That's where it is. That's where it is.
Nah, with everything we're saying though, I am happy that we at least see a team that is fighting, man. That's not giving up. That is trying. You can see they're not giving up. They just got beat in that second half. I mean, I think to sum it up, they just got beat, but they're fighting. They're trying. They're trying to battle back. If they eliminate the mistakes and get out of their own way, maybe they don't have to fight as hard in the fourth quarter. But
the mistakes are
that's learning.
But the mistakes and moments are going to happen, man. Like we always talk about the caveats, right? Like, oh, we need to see this team, fam. Like when they face a little bit of it just feels repetitive, right? Like, it's got to happen and they got to do it. But it's like a bad snap. So who the fuck cares? Other quarterbacks throw interceptions. Other quarterbacks mishandle snaps. Other linebackers miss tackles. All that stuff happens with other teams. But it just seems like it compound. It just continues to. It's like a snowball effect, right? Like we drop the snap, throw an interception, 3 and out. Defense is on the field the entire third quarter. Then people were bitching about the defense. Fam, context. They had 13 minutes of possession in that third quarter. Like we barely had we had like 30 yards of offense. We had nothing to counteract that energy. We just like, oh well, here we go again. And it just kind of permeated through it. Man, look, 4-2. I had them.
4-2,
I had them
man.
going.
4-2.
I had them at 5-1 going in after this week.
So
I didn't have them. Yeah, I had that first loss being North Carolina.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now we move on to Clemson, which I did. We did pick them beating. I did. Yeah, right.
I had them losing to Clemson, and I said this will be the last year we lose to Clemson.
Yeah, I had them winning against Clemson. I'm not changing my pick because I don't run from my picks. You know what I'm saying? So they faced all the adversity now, right? Like you can't have any more than this. 0-2 in the ACC. You're gonna have 4 teams ahead of you that don't play each other that are undefeated. I know Louisville lost, so the rest of the season is in your hands, man. The rest of the fucking season is in your hands.
I had A&M, North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State as my 4.
I had 3. I had.
So they're on track. They
Yeah.
beat A&M but lost to Georgia Tech. So on paper, though, how I had the season going is how it's currently going.
Yeah. I had them 9-3. I think I had.
So we go 8-4 and win a bowl game. I guarantee you, half these people in my mentions will be happy. And if you're not, then you don't understand what the definition of progress really means.
Some people are never going to be happy. Like I learned that over and over. Some people are just waiting for themselves to be right. I had to respond to our guy yesterday, man. Like, oh, you better be behind Mario. I was like, fam, like what are we doing? Like you didn't say shit the first month. Now you talking again. So it's just some people just wait for themselves to be right. I said it last episode. I'm gonna say it again. Like there's people that just come out the woodwork like, told you I was right. Then they hide it. Like that's not how this works, man. Like you either with it or you're not. I've been here 25 years. You think I'm changing? You think I'm going somewhere? I ain't leaving this fucking team. This is it. Yeah, man. But I gotta see JB11 this week, man. I have to see something. Like I need to see something. You can't leave that monster on the sideline the whole fucking season.
Yeah, we have to see constant weekly progression of the offense because defensive coordinators watch film just like you watch film. So we have to see change, man. We have to see it. So hopefully we see something different.
You see the chat, Joe?
Joe, check that chat.
Hopefully we see something different, man.
To Joe's point, though, I think that's what we want to see. We want to see us surprise the defensive coordinator. We want to see something just, especially with the first few plays that are scripted, with the first 15.
Yep.
Little razzle dazzle, man. Just create a spark earlier in the game. Give Brashard a reverse. Now they did try the flea flicker. They did do the flea flicker early.
I heard Joe in my head because
Joe
Joe hated
flicker, son.
So at the beginning,
I don't like the flea flicker either.
Our prediction show was Joe said. I remember that shit clear as day. Joe was like, I don't want to see a fucking flea flicker all year. When that's your razzle dazzle, you ain't got dazzle for shit.
Out of all of the trick plays, my God, like the flea flicker
again, it goes back to what I tell you, son. Like it doesn't matter the offensive coordinator, the head coach, the quarterback. That's Miami's trick play. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. That's Miami's trick play.
If that thing hits, though, it provides a serious spark.
When does it hit? Like it's a flea. That's not even.
It's a pee-wee football.
And listen, the flea flicker that was executed wasn't even good. Like
no, he flicked it back right away. Like he gave it to him. He turned around and handed it right back to him.
He gave it right back. So it was too much.
The linebacker hasn't had time to process that you have the football because the second you got it, you turned around and gave it.
It was
back.
too much penetration. Like the D line penetrated. And
I noticed that too.
He went hot potato. He went hot potato with it.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
I just want to see just something in the first 15 scripted, something different, little gadget, little. You know what I'm saying? Like a little something that. And what's missing too is the RPO and then the shot up the seam, whether that's the tight end or the flexed out, receiver.
RPO is missing. Period.
We don't have that the RPO attack the seam. It's that again. I'm going to keep complaining about this shit until I see it.
Tight ends
right behind the linebacker, right in front of the safety. There is a patch of grass that has been calling our names all year.
You know what's crazy about that?
Attack it.
They attacked it one time against Georgia Tech, and Riley Williams ran untouched for 18 yards. And just we're like, you know what? I don't want to throw the tight ends anymore.
And Arroyo was out there today, last night.
Yeah, he was running around.
At least the first drive, he was out there for a bit.
And TVD is actually good in RPO. Like that's a strength.
Yeah,
he has that RPO game, man.
It actually is actually what he does well.
Yeah.
And up the seam. That's why Mallory was so good. That's it.
Yes.
Brevin Jordan.
Yes. Brevin Jordan.
It is actually a part of his
Oh,
skill set
yes.
that he does really well. That arm angle he has, he gets the ball out quick.
I don't understand it. I said it on I tweeted it out legitimately, yo. I'm pressure washing my crib, and the whole time I'm like, yo, why can't we throw it to the tight ends? Like, why do we just not call anything for the tight ends? Fuck it, put Kobe Young in that position. You know what I'm saying? And put something like in the tight end position, have him run a seam, like just nothing. Like you don't attack that part of the field for nothing. It had like
I don't even want to hear that Cameron's a blocking tight end. Do it with him too. Fucking do it with somebody. Just do it with somebody. I don't care.
He can run.
I don't
right?
care who it is.
He can fucking run.
like,
Like he can catch the ball. Like you're not in.
That's
in
wild to me that people be
9.
like they're not throwing to the tight end because Cam is a blocking tight end. Cam is a tight end. Put the period. Like what?
Cam been in college football for 9 years. He does more than just blocking, fam.
Yeah,
like, you're not
he can get it in.
Come on, man. That's fucking crazy.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. But on the Clemson, look, if they can pressure Klubnik the same way that they pressured Drake May in this first quarter, got a shot.
Yeah, he's not the same at all.
He's not Drake.
He's not the same.
Not.
We should be able
get the kind of pressure on him.
Yeah, we should
What
be able to
scares me,
shut
though,
down that offense.
Running backs.
They got 2 running backs. We can't give up 8 yards of carry to their running backs. To Shipley and what is it, Maffa or what's his name?
Yeah, them boys is big and tough.
Them boys we can't give up 8 yards of carry to Clemson. We can't. You can't give up 8 yards of carry to William and Mary.
We'll
can't.
be able to more solely focus on the running game as opposed to against UNC with Drake May. But we'll talk about more about Clemson Wednesday.
What were you gonna say, CB?
No, that's just the key. If we need success against Clemson is pressure Klubnik.
Yeah, another night game. But like I said, we'll talk about it. We'll break down Clemson on Wednesday.
I could use a 12:00 game, can I?
Them games be late. Bro, them games be late as fuck, don't they? I feel old.
Anxiety all day, dog. That shit is the worst.
Fam, I drank coffee before.
Got me back home last night, buddy, because I was hallucinating on that road. Like,
yeah, that shit must have been tough.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh man, yeah, man. Shout out to Jesusito, man. You know what I mean? Hey, man, look, 4-2. It is what it is, man. We move on. It's on to Clemson now. And let's just see what happens, man, the rest of the year. Because again, this is another game where we gotta see. This is adversity, right? There's 0-2 in the ACC. Gotta see how we respond. If it's gonna be the same old, if I see a fucking flea flicker, I might break my new television. You know what I mean? I just got it. I don't want to. It's a beautiful TV. I love playing FIFA on it.
DM me telling me y'all broke y'all's television too. That doesn't
make sense, Austin. I've never understood that.
It doesn't
just punch it.
It doesn't make sense.
Pillows,
the Canes didn't pay for that. You paid for that, and now you got to buy another one.
Just slam your hand on the couch like a regular ass person. Like then you got to take the shit off the wall. It doesn't make sense.
Stop throwing away jerseys. You bought that.
Yeah,
like they got the money for that already. Just put it back in the closet.
I've never thrown out, burned anything of a
I bought it. Fuck, I look like throwing it away. Somebody told me about my Miami Nights jersey. It was like, you should burn it. I was like, bro, I bought it $100. You crazy?
Yeah, I'm not burning it.
I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it for a lot of YouTube videos. Like I bought this.
Yeah. 100%.
Also, unpopular opinion, I still like the Miami Nights uniforms.
I'm with it. Yeah, I got 2 shirts with it. I
like the black, bro. I've played a lot of football in my life. I never played better or worse because of the shirt I wore.
Never mattered.
Shit is not a thing.
I will say this though, ending is because we're talking about apparel. Shout out to the Crocs that I got with Canes all over. Man, those shits are fire.
Crocs are comfortable
as fuck, son. These are like more.
People sleep on them, but they're super comfortable.
Son, it's fantastic, man.
I have a pair of all black ones.
Joe was right. Joe was like, yo, them shit's just gonna show up at your crib. Them shit's just gonna show up at your crib. You're not gonna know when they're there. And that's exactly, they showed up in my mailbox. I didn't get no notice, nothing. All right, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? We broke through it. I didn't feel as bad, but it's that You Heard podcast, man. We about this bitch. I was so aggressive. Hey guys, I'm sorry if you have kids in the car and I just cursed. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm saying that was my fault.
Earmuffs,
Earmuffs, please. Yeah, you know, better be
Earmuffs
cussing.
for
All right,
parents.
guys, we out.